Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Cloud Imperium are storming ahead with 4.2.1, with more backers now gaining access. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for the support. Cannot do this without you guys. And quickly, for those who are waiting for a TOBII eye tracker sale, it is back on sale now at 15% off until the 14th of July. So a great time to pick one up, and using my link not only takes you to that deal, but it also provides my channel with a direct kickback. And a big thank you in advance for those who do so. So, Cloud Imperium released a new 4.2.1 PTU patch yesterday evening, with this build opening up to Wave 2 backers. But they say their plan is to get it open to all waves by the end of the week. So it's likely that they are planning to leave it on the PTU for all backers over this coming weekend, pushing it to live early next week once they have addressed any issues that crop up with the higher player count. So they are really pushing to get this build out the door as soon as possible, which is not overly uncommon for a 0.1 patch after a patch is released. Usually they release the 0.1 patches quite quickly just to target any issues that cannot be hotfixed. But what is uncommon is that this new 0.1 patch is bringing a brand new event, which never usually happens. So really loving this momentum to get more fixes and content out so promptly after the previous patch, especially as it has some great new non-combat missions. Anyway, for the latest patch, as mentioned, this build opened up to Wave 2 backers, but as Cloud Imperium say, they want to get it open to everybody by the end of the week. We're on Wednesday now, so there's a couple more days before it gets to Friday. But for new updates in gameplay, they have done more resource gathering polish, with the cargo amounts more in line with expectations of size, and they've done payout and economy balance. Now, I've not seen the price or size differences, so if anybody does know what has changed here, please do drop that in the comments below. They have also increased the carrying capacity of all backpacks moderately, which is obviously a big benefit for us loot goblins. For updates to ships and vehicles, unfortunately, they have disabled ground flight turbulence for 4.2.1. Now, I'm not sure what the reason is for disabling it. I really love this new turbulence effect. It adds so much more to the whole immersive feeling of flight, rather than just lifting off from your hangar and it sitting there without any movement whatsoever. That's always annoyed me. And yes, it makes sense to have turbulence in the hangar as you are in a pretty confined space with thrusters kicking out a lot of wind, which would absolutely impact your ship's ability to hover. It should differ, of course, from different hangar sizes and ship sizes and thruster sizes, so hopefully they will bring that back before 4.2.1 goes live, especially considering that the majority of the players haven't even tried it yet due to it just being on the PTU. Now, I don't know what people didn't like about it, other than maybe it was a bit too extreme in certain places, but hopefully Cloud Imperium can do what they need to do to get it feeling as it should, and put it back in before it goes live. Anyway, the cycling-friendly targets now only cycles non-hostiles. I didn't realize it didn't do that before. That's probably because I just used TOBII to target everyone. The Atlas ICT gun muzzle projectile has had visual improvements, and they have enabled countermeasures in the Prowler's co-pilot seat. I assume the pilot can still fire countermeasures, but it's nice that the co-pilot can do this too. Great for supporting the pilot in other areas. They have also reduced the Bay-Ring Size 7 ballistic Gatling gun spread and increased the Talon self-destruction timer to 30 seconds so that you have enough time to escape. Not sure what it was before, but of course, you need to be able to get out of the seat before it blows up, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. So just a few little tweaks here and there to bring more things or more aspects in line with the rest of the game. Only small tweaks, but if you own any of these vehicles, they oftentimes make a huge difference. Now, the build also brought with it 13 potential bug fixes, a few for the new 3.2.1 event, this Second Life event. The limpets on the Apex Valakar should now be mineable, and it should no longer get stuck in a frozen animation. This is referring to the irradiated Apex as part of the whole Stormbreaker event. The Freight Elevator Manager should no longer get stuck on the loading contents. Rundown stations' cargo decks in Pyro should properly display items on mannequins and so forth and in the hangars. The Pembroke and Novikov suit should now be buyable in the refinery shops, which is a good addition, as well as a few more bug fixes. Now, there were also 13 known issues currently, none of which are labelled with severity, but these include issues for this new event, for the inventory, for vehicle weapons not being interactable or usable on quite a few ships. Naming ships, melting ships, or updating ship packages will delete any non-stock items that are fitted to the ship, including its paints. Hopefully they can get that fixed, because that is obviously a bit of a bummer. There are still freight elevator issues for the Lazarus locations. There is an issue with the localized pyro courier missions, in which boxes cannot be placed on shelves, which is the new missions within settlements, so taking a small box, a 1/8 SEU box, from one building in the settlement and delivering it to another building. Apparently the shelves aren't working. Plus a few more. Hopefully they can get these resolved along with others before 4.2.1 goes live, but as we get closer to a potential live release, they will certainly outline which of these issues are blockers, critical, high, and so on. Now that is the latest build. Again, great seeing more content come along while continuing to fix the older issues. That said, for me personally, I am certainly hoping to see more thorough fixes for issues with the inventory, with the hangars, with the ASOP terminals, tanking your hangar and stopping you from being able to call up ships. Those are the most impactful ones for me right now anyway. So yeah, my fingers are crossed they can find fixes to, especially for inventory, to make that a lot more consistent. But we are almost halfway through the year of fixing, stabilizing, performance improvements and quality of life updates, and considering that we are able to play as a party of nearly 30 players with many ships and barely have any issues, really proves how much the PU has progressed. Of course, there is still a hell of a lot more to do, especially with the issues highlighted above, but I am very excited to see how the persistent universe shapes up by the end of the year. I'm sure we will have a few more 4.2.1 patches before the end of the week, just to get it so that it's ready for all backers. And as I say, I suspect it'll be on the PTU for the weekend to check and monitor and stress test, with a live release coming sometime early next week. Maybe not Monday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, something along those lines. Now, before I go, I have partnered with the IMPOUND, who are the most trusted non-official seller of Star Citizen ships, vehicles, and items, obviously outside the official website. So if you are after a particular Star Citizen vehicle, a CCU, or an item that is no longer available on RSI's website, be sure to check them out. They own everything they sell, and they send out any purchases within minutes of the purchase. Plus, if there are issues, they can offer replacements or refunds, so rest assured, it is safe. Also, if there is a particular ship that you are after and want to CCU to it, but don't know how or cannot do it on the official website, they have a tool that will actually help you figure out how to get the best possible price. I can also get you 5% off by using my link, plus any purchase made does directly support my channel. So again, if you are looking to pick up a new Star Citizen ship, vehicle, item, CCU, and you want to save a bit of money while also supporting me, the link is below. It is very much appreciated. With that said though, if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Also, today on stream, we will be tackling the Hathor event with an Idris and 25 other vehicles, culminating in a Atlas Geo hot drop from the Idris. Again, as said, there's probably going to be 20 plus of us with 25 different vehicles in use. Hopefully all goes smooth. But if you want to watch and check it out, you can either watch me here on YouTube or over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother. I stream to both, or you could catch the VOD, which will be after the stream has gone live. I stream between 2 PM and 6 PM BST, so be sure to say hello. Hit the like button if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Your support is truly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.